Where's our first question?
Hello.
Right here.
Hi. My first question is for James. It's the elephant in the room, but I think we're all wondering, we got a wonderful cast here. Is there any chance we might hear soon about Rocket Raccoon or Groot?
That we might hear about Rocket Raccoon or Groot?
Soon? Like casting? Anytime soon?
Pretty soon.
Pretty soon?
Pretty soon.
Nowish?
Yeah. Not nowish. Tomorrow, next weekish? No. Next monthish? I don't know.
Soon.
Ask Kevin. Kevin tells me what I can do and not do.
Kevin?
Perfect answer, James. Perfect answer.
The Kevin part?
Right.
Over here on the right.
What's the basic moral premise conflict of Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, man, that's a good question before I flew here from London, for 12 hours. Really, Guardians is about a family coming together, and it really is about a group of individuals who have acted selfishly and only as individuals throughout their life and learning something about themselves that makes them heroes.
Here on the left.
Jasper with nerdlocker.com. Chris, what was the extent to your training to get your body into the physical shape that it is now?
Oh man, it was like about 6 months. Just got after it. Combination of different things, lifting weights, cardio, and really strict nutrition. And so, I mean, it's like really boring stuff, but basically I cried like 40 pounds off, and the rest was being hungry and running a lot.
He's being very disciplined. His birthday was 4 weeks ago. I happened to be there. They brought out a tray of vegetables that spelled happy birthday.
Yeah. And if there was one that was sharp, I would have used it to cut my wrists. That's not. You shouldn't make jokes about suicide, though. Seriously, you guys.
Here in the center, right.
James, your previous films have more of an R-rated tone, obviously. Will you plan on keeping more of a darkly comedic tone throughout this film without wandering into the R rating?
Darkly comedic. I don't think of it as darkly comedic. I do think of it as me. I got to say that there's a lot of James Gunn in this movie, and it's a strange thing because when I turned in the first draft to Kevin and Marvel and Joss, and they read the first draft, they were all really happy, which made me happy. That was a really good day. And their biggest note was more James Gunn, which freaked the hell out of me. So I gave them more James Gunn, and that's what's in the movie. And I think it's a really unique movie. But with every movie I do, I'm speaking to a certain part of myself, and I'm speaking to a certain audience. And with a movie like Super, I'm speaking to a specific person that movie means a lot to, and I really appreciate everybody that loves that movie. When I'm doing a movie like Guardians, it really is for a much broader audience. It's for everybody. It's a movie we can go see on a Friday night with everybody else in the city and really enjoy ourselves in a different type of way. And I appreciate both those types of movies.
Front row here in the center.
Hi, James.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey. Coming off of something like Super and then coming to such a big budget, what has your experience been like with the budget on set?
That it's easier. It's easier because with a movie like Super, there's a lot of people on set who I think I can do their job better than they can. And in a movie like this, we worked really hard to find the best, whether it was the best actor, for each of these roles, which we worked really hard at to get the best people for this movie. I mean, really hard. But not only that, but the best production designer or the best composer or the best, costume designer. And so they all make my job a lot easier on this movie than it's been in movies past.
We're right here on the right.
Hi. The question for the cast, the Marvel Universe so far, Captain America, Thor, etc., have been huge, really well-known superheroes. Is it intimidating at all to step into these roles, going into what people may not be as familiar with?
Oh, there's nothing intimidating about, 200 people looking at you at a press conference. This is easy. Yeah. I'm not scared. Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, being at Comic-Con answering questions about, a comic book movie. It's like super easy. No, I don't know. Anyone else?
No, it's exciting. Of course, you're nervous, and I would be cautious to use the word intimidated because I don't want it to be interpreted like I feel any less or any inferior. I feel very excited to be joining the Marvel family of superheroes, and I do believe that Guardians have bigger powers in a way. And if we were like up against like Captain America or Thor, we would totally kick his ass.
Yes.
Yes.
She said
Bring
that.
it.
Here, all the way in the right in the back.
I wanted to know if Benicio del Toro is playing Khan in the movie.
No, kidding. No, just for all the for all the actors and James as well. This being sort of an unknown quantity and a unique sort of standout in the Marvel universe or in comic book movies adaptations in general. If you guys felt sort of emboldened by that being different, or you felt a greater sense of pressure because of it.
No. Come again?
I think, I'll just answer real quick. I don't think that the reason that all the Marvel movies thus far have been received so well is because they were such famous comic books. I think they were great stories, and Iron Man is Iron Man now to people because of Iron Man the movie, it was a comic and certainly people knew it, but they love it and they go back to it because it's great storytelling, and I think it's the same thing with this. Like, this is a really cool story, and Marvel they know what they're doing and they know how to tell a story and they know how to make this movie. And so I really don't feel intimidated. Like, if you told me, Chris, you have to go adapt Guardians of the Galaxy into a movie on your own, I would be super intimidated. But when they're like, we're doing it and we'd love you to be part of it, it's like, wow, great. I'm along for the ride.
In the center.
Hi, I'm not sure if you work together in most of your scenes or if you're broken down into groups, but I was wondering, what was some of the most challenging scenes for you? And also, were there any injuries? Did anybody get hurt?
Well, we still have 85% of the film to shoot.
Yeah.
We could. I think there's going to be a great deal of soreness and muscle cramping and sweating, but it's going to be great. We've been all training for it. We've been rehearsing. Endless conversations with our director as well as talking to every department that's sort of building us together, from David Bautista to myself to Lee and Jaimin and also Michael and Karen. We have an excruciatingly so much makeup. We have so much makeup to do constantly, and the retouching every single second. So there's going to be a lot of work that we're putting into it, but I think I'm going to speak for myself, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people here will identify themselves with it. I'm just excited to be doing something different, and this is sort of like the anti-hero hero movie. When you meet these characters, they're thieves, they're rebels, they're assassins, and they're going to be learning very big lessons. But because it's a James Gunn sort of interpretation of Guardians, the levity will be very abundant. And that's what keeps it, I guess, awesome. That from like my 10-year-old niece who just visited the set and myself, when we both walked into one of the sets that they had built, we both had the same expression and we were both drooling. We were like, whoa. It was insane.
I would also add, and this may be considered a spoiler, but I have some really big injuries planned for Michael Rooker in the future. And hopefully Bautista's going to help me with those.
I relish the thought.
All the way over here in the front on the right.
Thank you all for coming. First of all, for Dave Bautista, thanks for all your words about setting your goals and giving it your all to achieve those goals. Those are real inspiring stuff. You're the man, Dave. And also, how strong is Drax, and is he strong enough to beat up the Hulk and Thor?
I would have to say yes on that. I may be a bit biased, but say yes. But
Have you seen his hands, for the love of God? They're like this big. It's like if it's raining, I just tell Dave to put his hand on my head. I will not get wet. Oh, no, answer. I was really...
no, I appreciate you saying that, because that's kind of been my message throughout my career, is because I really come from nothing. I'm a poor kid, came from the streets, and to me, what I've been able to achieve has really just been through hard work and really not letting anyone tell me that I couldn't do something. So this project alone is by far the biggest thing I've ever done in my life, and to be a part of it is just really a dream come true. And I always try to tell people, encourage people, whether I go and talk to kids or just tweet out stuff, and just tell people to pursue their dreams. Just pursue your dreams.
Here in the center, in the hat.
The question's for Dave Bautista. Did your previous work with WWE, doing the live shows with Raw and everything, did it help prepare you for doing more film roles, or?
No, and people ask me that a lot, and because I always tell people it's nerve-wracking. Like, going to auditions for me is like the worst thing in the world. It's just terrifying to me, and people don't get it. They say, well, you've gone out and you performed in front of 100,000 people, and it's so much more intimate. And it's just so much smaller, and there's just so much attention right there on you. It's just absolutely terrifying, But, I don't know. I'm sorry, I even lost track of the question.
But he killed it, and he's here.
It's new to me, but I always go to work, and I'm still a student at this, and I'm not afraid to let people know, this is new to me. I'm still learning, and I'm not afraid to go up to people and pick their brains and ask for advice, because that's, to me, that's how you get better. That's how I've gotten better at everything I've ever done. Is don't be too proud to ask for help, And I'm learning a lot, like every day on this project, from the cast, from the director, from the crew, even from the producers. Just learn. And that's what it's all about for me. And that's how you stay young. If you're pursuing something that you love and you're learning something new every day. I mean, that's the key to youth.
In the front row.
Hey guys, right here. Mark Walters of BigFanboy.com. Thanks for coming out. One of the things I always loved about Guardians of the Galaxy was that the characters are so weird and wonderful and different from like normal superheroes. And in an effort so that everybody gets to say something in this press conference, can you each tell us in just a few words, like, what is your favorite weird and wonderful aspect of your character?
Michael?
Yes.
Michael. Michael Rooker.
What do you want to know again?
Wonderful aspect of your character.
Weird and wonderful. It's actually quite weird that I'm actually in this project. So Yondu is for me. There's a lot of Yondu and a lot of me in Yondu. When I first read the script, I noticed right away there's some aspects of Yondu's existence within this universe of ours, in this film of ours, that is very, very close to me. Like, for example, the tough love attitude that I have towards some of the other cast members. Very extremely tough love, as a matter of fact. So I'm very much like that in my life as well, and so I don't, in a lot of the movies, not all the movies, but a lot of the movies I've done, I hardly ever do makeup, except on James Gunn movies. The one was a 7-hour makeup in Slither. This one's not so bad, maybe 2.5 hours. So that's, for me, that's a very interesting aspect, because I usually don't. I get in, I look at the mirror, I go, what do you think? And the makeup girl says, or a guy says, well, we could do this, and I go, nah. And I walk away, and not to be mean or anything. It's just that I prefer not to have. I prefer when I get mad, I get red. When I get embarrassed, I get red. When I get turned on, I get red. And I want the audience to see that as well, in the character. So if the character's getting mad, getting turned on, getting upset or something, you're going to see that in the facial tones and the skin tones, and that's what I enjoy about acting. It can be very subtle like that. And so with a lot of makeup on, you can't see a lot of that. So I prefer to have no makeup at all, but not in this one, sorry to say. Actually, happy to say. I'm very excited to be involved with it. Dave's got a whole lot more makeup than I do. Anyway, that's my, anyway, I don't know. Did I answer your question?
What was the question?
What's the most weird and wonderful aspect of your personality? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jaime Ononsu. I play Korath, who is a humanoid, an ally to Ronan. But I just want to begin saying by highlighting this one little story about my son. I had a 4-year-old son, and who one day looked at me and said, he loves all the superheroes, and from Spider-Man to Batman to Iron Man. He's got all the costumes. And one day he looks at me and says, Baba, I want to be light-skinned so I can beat Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is light-skinned. So that's sort of like, that was a shocker to me. So I think, I'm extremely excited to be part of Marvel Universe, so that, hopefully can provide that, sort of like a diverse, outlook of superheroes or bad guys in those stories. It's important for us to be to be part of that, and specifically for me. So that was my in ticket to Marvel World, and I'm excited. Thank you.
I play Ronan the Accuser, and it's a character that's been around since 1967 when he first fought the Fantastic Four. And so there's a lot of incredible story that I've gotten to research. Reading comic books research. I guess I've been doing my job. I start work this week, filming the character, and I'm just really excited to, make a villain that is complicated, and that there's a core of him that is. You can find something that you can understand, I don't know, he's pretty bad, though, so pretty bad dude. I guess it's early days, so I'm just putting the first wall up, and we'll start there,
Drax the Destroyer, who's also a pretty bad dude. Drax, he's full of rage, and he's full of honor. He's very literal, but I think the best thing about Drax is he's hysterical without meaning to be hysterical. Yeah. I think that's what I love the most about Drax.
Yeah. I play Gamora, and the weirdest thing about Gamora is that she blushes. She turns green when she blushes. She turns green when she's mad. Or when she's turned on, she turns green.
Right on, I like that.
Touche.
And what was the weirdest, what was the other word? What's wonderful is that she has grown up in an environment that has misrepresented how she truly, truly feels, I guess, inside. And she's going to, I guess, discover that, hopefully.
For Quill, without blowing too much of his origin or anything like that, there's like a petulance to him. Like he hasn't been really held accountable as an adult. He's been able to be kind of free in space and do whatever he's wanted to do. And that's really kind of fun because it means that he's like slept with all these super weird aliens. And that's
It sounds like
my
you've had
favorite.
some really good parenting.
That's like my what's that?
You've had some mighty fine parenting.
That's my favorite weird element of the. It's just very wonderful, and then but in terms of my favorite moment I think I've had was when I first donned my full wardrobe in like in the costume department. I put it on and it was just like wow. I wore it and I thought that was pretty wonderful. Like all of a sudden my walk changed a little bit and I had a little extra bob in my head while I was walking and I felt that was pretty cool. So great wardrobe.
I played Nebula. Thank you so much. Weird. She looks pretty weird. And one of the most interesting things about the character for me is her very strange and complex relationship to Gamora. And that's it. Thanks again.
I played the Collector, well, he collects things like most of us, and I think it's pretty cool that he's got his own personal zoo. I think that's pretty cool.
Did you guys hear his original answer? He said his favorite weird and wonderful he goes, my hair. We got this crazy hairdo in the movie. My favorite thing about Benicio, can I share a quote that you told me in our first meeting? And we were sitting down, we were talking about something about the character, and this is the reason why I know you and I are going to be friends forever, is because we sat there and I asked you, we were talking about something about collecting stuff and how you get excited when you get something new collecting, and then all of a sudden you look at me really seriously and you go, I was the first kid in my neighborhood to have an alligator. And I always thought, and I'm like, that wasn't funny, like you just saying that. That was my favorite sentence, top 10 favorite sentences ever.
And it's true.
It is true.
And this is going to be our last question right here in front.
Hi, I'm Renato Marafon from Cinepop. My question is for James. As they expand in Marvel Universe, there is going to be any connection to the other Marvel movies or mention?
Well, we have Thanos. So, Thanos is the thing that connects us to the Marvel Universe at this point. And then in the future, we'll see what happens after this. But for right now, we're connected to the rest of the Marvel Universe because of 3 seconds at the end of the Avengers.
Fantastic. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.